My name's Kirstie. I'm an autistic adult living in Northamptonshire, and I think it's important to say that as part of my identity because as an autistic person, people assume that occasionally I'm incapable or that I might be non-verbal or what was previously known as sort of lower functioning, assume that I have a learning disability. I don't. I still struggle with social and sort of communication, that sort of interaction and the world around me, but that doesn't make me any less capable or able. More often than not, I would be referred to as a patient who's refused to engage. And it's not that I didn't want the help, it's not that I didn't want to engage, it's that I couldn't in the way that was being offered to me. So for example, I really struggle to use the telephone. So when GPs or services call you and say, call me back on this number, I don't. So then I either get taken off the waiting list or I just don't attend and it goes down as, oh, she doesn't want the support. It's not that at all. Ultimately, we deserve a good experience as much as anybody else does. And it means that as autistic people, we're more likely to return and to get that support. Over the past few weeks, I've been to NGH a few times for appointments and then for a surgery. I was just completely blown away, to be honest, by how much they'd taken on board about autism and within that learning disabilities too. When I arrived, I was really flustered and I'd completely lost the ability to communicate. They noticed that I had my communication cards with me. They also let me take some time to sit in the disabled toilet and just sort of decompress and ground and regroup. And that was really important because otherwise I potentially wouldn't have been able to do the appointment or do it as well as we ended up doing it. When I went to the surgery unit, I didn't have to wait in the normal waiting room. They put me in, it was the children's sort of waiting area, but it was because it was a standalone sort of room. It had its own bathroom. I then wasn't with lots of other people, lots of other noise. They took me on a little tour of the surgery sort of unit and said, you'll be here at this time and then we'll move you to here and this is why, and then you'll go here and then you can leave. And just having that information made it so much more accessible and so much less anxiety provoking for me. I was also really pleased that they had a hospital passport waiting for me. I filled it in myself, that didn't take time away from anybody, took it in with me, and actually it turned out that all of the pre-surgery questions had already been answered in my passport, so that removed some stress for me as well. And ultimately, with reasonable adjustments there, they can be completely free. So one of the sort of most bizarre examples, but one of the most helpful examples, is that I had a conversation with the surgeon and the anaesthetist before I had the surgery. And he noticed that I was holding a little penguin. Penguins are my favourite thing. And he talked to me about penguins. And that was all it took to to put me at ease, to stop me worrying and overthinking. That took a matter of seconds and yeah, didn't cost him anything, didn't stop him from doing anything else. I sit on the Autism Advisory Panel for Northamptonshire, and that's a group of autistic adults or parents of autistic young people. And we meet monthly and people come to talk to us about their services, what they do, their own experiences as autistic people. And sometimes this also means being asked to do things like training or just having conversations with services if new services are starting up, or if they're having specific difficulties or they just want an autistic sort of viewpoint. And for quite a while it has felt like we were giving all of this information and we were doing all of these things like training, and you don't really see what's happening because of that. And I guess it's because I'm not in those circles, I'm not part of that service, so I wouldn't see the changes. But this time, to actually see the change, to be given the hospital passport and to have people sort of waiting and for it to go so smoothly was phenomenal, because we made that difference. And yeah, it makes it all worthwhile, because it does get tiring and it does get exhausting when you feel like you're fighting a losing battle or you're sort of preaching to the converted. but yeah, to experience that change was amazing.